Hello and welcome to Stained Glass Gaming, where I turn video games into glass. Today, it's a viewer request. Time to praise the sun. This is everyone's favorite sun bro, Solaire of Astora. Before I get started, I need to clean the glass. I bought this glass at a local glass shop, and this particular glass was part of another project that someone else made that was taken in for repairs. Because this was used in a previous project, there is this black hard stuff on the edges. This is putty, which is used when using lead came instead of copper foil. It is still stained glass, just a different method. To get the putty off, I initially tried scraping it, but was afraid I'd break the glass. So instead, I soak it in water. I let it sit for 12 hours. I don't really know how long to soak it for, but I figured 12 hours would work. The putty comes off easily, though tiny bits still remain on the edges. Even after the glass is cleaned up, there is still some leftover residue. Probably leftover from the cane process, but I'm not sure. I used 3 bladed scissors to cut out the paper pattern. I glued the pattern onto the pieces of glass using Elmer's glue. I was limited to the overall size of the sun because of the size of the red glass pieces. To cut the complicated pieces, I use a ring saw. If you want to know more, I have a tutorial playlist where I explain each step in more detail. I've played each of the Dark Souls games, but never really beat any of them. I played Dark Souls 1 and got stuck at Inn Orlando with Ornstein and Smo. I only played a little of Dark Souls 2, and I played a little of Dark Souls 3. I couldn't really get good, but I like watching other people that know how to play the game. The grinder is used to smooth out the cuts and refine the shape. For the complicated pieces, I put small pieces of foil on each side to prevent the glass from showing if the foil splits. Then I wrap the copper foil around the glass and press it down with burnishing tools to ensure a snug fit. Now, for the most complicated part of this project. Time to fly by the seat of my pants. The face is interesting. It's impossible to make in glass because of the size. I won't be painting it because the last time I painted on glass, I wasn't happy with it. I could draw the face using Sharpie, but it will eventually come off. So my plan is to use copper foil. This is called an overlay, and is purely decorative. I bought a foil sheet so I can cut out the face. I could have used the foil strips, but it's not large enough for the face. I initially tried using scissors to cut out the face, but because of the scale, the scissors didn't work too well. I then put foil on a scrap piece of glass, taped the pattern on it, and used an X-Acto knife to carefully cut it out. This was still a pain in the butt, but I managed to do it. If I make this again, I will definitely make it larger. I use 60/40 lead tin solder to stick the pieces together, applying flux before I solder. The flux allows the solder to bond to the copper, otherwise the solder won't stick. As I solder the foil overlay, the foil begins to shift. This is okay, because I'll be taking the overlay and supergluing it onto the yellow glass before I wax the entire thing. Once everything cools down, I wash the finished project with water and dish soap, dry it off, and change the color of the solder to black. I almost left it silver, because I actually liked how it looked, but when I looked at the original image I used to make the pattern, the face is black. In order to superglue the face on correctly, I set up my makeshift light box. I put the paper pattern down, then laid the gloss on top of it. Now I know you can't really see anything in the video, but I can just barely make out the lines through the glass. I do my best to superglue the face where it is supposed to go. I need to wait 24 hours for the glue to fully set before I wax it. I apply the wax carefully around the face area, making sure not to accidentally rub too hard. I am super pleased with how this turned out. Even though the face caused me some frustration, I at least know that larger overlays are easier to deal with than smaller ones. I'm excited to see what other designs I can make. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see me make down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all through the next pane.